All right, all right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Halon and La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwaf that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Amwan back at you with another lesson. And going into the title, all right, some little bit of breakfast oil, okay, and based on news, prophecy, and judgments, okay. And I'm gonna grab a couple of. I'm gonna be kind of all over the place, all right, through the spirit, but basically going into news, a little bit of prophecy, and a whole lot of judgment that continues to keep going out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, all right. So with that being said, we could start off with let's see, I guess I'll start off with a little prophecy, all right, which you have US, all right, this was I believe this was a couple of days ago, 2 days ago. All right, US strikes ISIS. Okay, let me just get the article. It says U.S. strikes ISIS targets in Syria after 2 soldiers and interpreter were killed last week. All right, and this was 3 days ago. Okay.
Breaking news overseas, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth just announced that U.S. carried out deadly strikes in Syria. He says they targeted ISIS fighters, infrastructure, and suspected weapon sites. It comes after 2 U.S. military personnel and a civilian translator were killed earlier this month while on patrol in Syria. 3 others were injured in what the military central command calls an ambush attack. On social media today, Secretary Hegseth said in part, quote, "Today we hunted and killed our enemies, lots of them, and we will continue."
All right, so, at the end of the day, which Esau's just waging war wherever he can right now at this point, all right, because that's what the devil does, all right? So, he's making these strikes, all right, and basically saying that 2 soldiers were killed, all right, and an interpreter, all right, which, at the end of the day, people die every day, okay? So, it is what it is, all right? You also have, Netanyahu wants to strike Iran again, okay? So, World War III, man, is just being amped up more and more through the spirit. All right, let's grab this. This is Isaiah 13:4, and it says, "The noise of the multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh, all right, mustereth the host of the battle." All right. So, the Lord is the one that's making these things happen. All right. And he's pretty much putting his pawns, all right, his pawn pieces, playing this game of chess wherever he needs to put them. All right. And pretty much setting everybody up for the okie doke. All right. Because eventually this place is going to be an all out World War III. Okay. Which we could grab that real quick. This is Revelations 11:14. It says, "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." Okay, and you can see how fast this world war, all right, is being set up. All right, this third world war, all right, because nation, all right, is rising against nation. Okay, let's grab that. This is Matthew 24, all right, and 6, "And ye shall hear war of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Yeah, because all these different wars happening all over the world, all right, is just is the precursor of what's really about to come. Okay, this is just the Lord heating up the plate before he eats. You see, so he's heating things up all over the world, all right, but everything has to fall in a chronological order in order for, you know, that true World War III to pass, all right, where America gets annihilated from all these different countries. Okay, it says, for nation shall rise up against nation. This is why you hear wars and rumors of wars, because nation is rising up against nation. All right, right now all these different nations is trying to show who has the bigger balls. Okay, it says, in kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. All right, and that's what you're seeing being set up. All right, when war comes along, all right, famines, all right, end up you know, coming into play. All right, because everybody's pretty much, you know, spending money on warfare, you see, and not worrying about their actual, you know, their actual countries. You see, when warfare comes, all right, and things start getting bombed up and exploded, all right, people gonna suffer for it. You see, the people that live there in these different countries, all right, whether it be our country or another country, these people will eventually suffer, okay, because when war is waged, people tend to, you know, go after resources, go after the main resources of those countries. All right. And the first thing they try to do is, you know, knock out your food supplies. You know, they knock out your medicals, you know, your everything that has to do with medical. OK. And this is why there's going to be a lot of famines. OK. Pestilence is also going to be in the rise. Why? Because, you know, different types of sicknesses accumulate. All right. On top of people starving, you know, people are accumulating different types of sicknesses, all these different types of, you know, missiles and all this shit being thrown in the air, all right, causes sickness, pestilence, right? It says in earthquakes in diverse places, all right, and you have been seeing the birth pangs that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai has constantly brought upon this place, man, showing you that this place is about to go. Okay, let's grab that. This is Second Ezra's 16 and 37, and it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, and with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. You see? So, you know, these plagues are like a woman that's pregnant. All right. She's constantly having birth pangs. Okay. And contractions until this place finally blows. Okay. And that's why you having earthquakes in diverse places, because the earth itself is mourning. You see, because all the evil that's exceedingly polluted the whole entire earth. All right. The earth itself can't deal with it no more, man. This earth is being, you know, destroyed on a daily basis. All right, so even the earth itself is crying out to the Lord, you know, to get us up out of here, to end this shit. You see, let's grab this. This is Malachi 4:1, and it says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and it shall leave them neither root nor branch." Okay, and this is why the Lord is bringing all these, you know, nations together. All right, to, you know, World War III. All right, let's grab Isaiah 34, and then I grab some more news. Right, it says, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He has utterly destroyed them. He has delivered them to the slaughter. Okay, and that's what the Lord is doing. All right, he is bringing every single one of these nations to slaughter, preparing them for slaughter. Okay, it says, their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. All right, and that's talking about that mushroom cloud when missiles hit, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. You see? So eventually, okay, whether people like it or not, whether they believe it or not, whether they believe that peace is coming to this place, all right, the Lord, all right, is going to bring total vengeance upon this place, all right, because it's the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. You see? So let's grab some more news. All right. Let's grab this actually. Give me 1 second. One thing I wanted to share that's news, right, is actually, let me just play this one real quick.
Around the world, they're drafting, these different countries are drafting automatic drafts into the military, including the United States. Look at this. Now let's look at the UK. UK Air Chief warns Britain's sons and daughters must prepare for war with Russia, telling families to expect sacrifice. This piggybacks so well with what Pete Hegseth said recently. What Pete Hegseth just said about the U.S.
And what's crazy? And what's crazy is that, you know, that she even mentioned in Russia. So Ezekiel 38 chapters in full effect, okay? Because Russia's going to be the one that annihilates, all right, America the most, along with these other countries, all right? And the beast, you know, her own allies are going to hate her also, all right? As the scriptures say, the beast shall hate the whore, okay? But you see, drafts are coming around everywhere you see. You see, in all these different other countries, they're already drafting people, man. But see, America's being saved for last. All right. So eventually, okay, the draft for America. All right, let me just grab that real quick. All right. This is Second Ezra's. Damn, my shit froze. Hold on. Let me back out of it and go back into it. This is Second Ezra's 16 and 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms, and women shall mourn, having no husbands. Why? Because all these men are going to end up going to war. All right, and so, and a lot of you women going to end up going to war too. All right. It says the daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. All right. So this is showing you that, you know, military drafts are going to be brought into play. Okay. And a lot of them, you know, you're going to be sent off to FEMA camps, and they're just going to put your ass on the front line. You know, they're going to start knocking on people's doors. Okay. Asking them to join, you know, 18 to 26 man and female. Okay, which they've been speaking about it for quite some time. All right, and people think because nothing has happened, all right, that is a joke. All right, so you get that knock on your door by one of these military recruits. Okay, recruiters. All right, and see, you're going to be put in a certain position. All right, because if you don't join, they might throw you in prison. You see, they've always done that. If the government comes and says you got to go to war and you deny it, all right, and you turn it down, you'll end up in prison. You see, and you know very well, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans shouldn't even be joining no military, because what the fuck is this country gonna do for you, man? That shit's all bullshit anyway. All right, so you only get military, you know, benefits at the moment. All right, but when you're done serving these devils, man, you either end up in a casket, you know, you end up with 2 broken legs, 2 blown off legs, or if you do make it through there, man, when you come out, they ain't even giving you benefits that they promised you, man. So you shouldn't even be risking your life for this country at all right? Rather than you should be, you know, risking your life for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai on these highways and hedges, okay? So let's go back a little bit to that video.
They're around the world. They're drafting. These different countries are drafting automatic drafts into the military, including the United States. Look at this. Now let's look at the UK. UK Air Chief warns Britain's sons and daughters must prepare for war with Russia, telling families to expect sacrifice. This piggybacks so well with what Pete Hegseth said recently. What Pete Hegseth just said about the U.S. Are you seeing this coordination around the world? There's a coordinated effort. Digital ID, digital currency, the wars, freedom of speech being censored. I have if you don't know about what happened on X today.
Yeah, so we have famine of the word. That's right around the corner. This is why we tell you to seek the Lord while he may be found. You know, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and not to put off day to day, for sudden destruction cometh upon you. You see, all these things are happening, you know, simultaneously, man, fast. All right, back to back. You know, domino effects till it finally really, you know, pops. Then the domino effect is going to be done even quicker. It's going to be done even faster. Okay, this is why people going to be so overwhelmed. This is how they're going to be able to make you bow down to their system, because so many different things are going to be hitting you at once. Okay, and people not going to be able to, you know, deal with that shit. Okay, and this is why it's important to have the word of the Lord, because see, having the word of the Lord sustains you, man. In those times when things are happening, you know, you're not worried about it, because the Lord is going to, you know, steer you in the right direction. All right. The Lord is what directs your steps. All right. So how can a man understand his own way? Okay. You have to be, you know, you have to be sanctified and holy, separated from this world, in order for the Lord to separate you from what's to come. Okay.
They're around the world. They're currency, the wars, freedom of speech being censored. I have if you don't know about what happened on X today, I'll get to it in another video. But essentially, they changed the terms of service, and it pretty much, you know what? We'll wait for it. But it's, people were freaking out all morning about it. Because essentially, I told you there are 20 bills currently.
And that's beautiful, people freaking out, because the Lord said, many great miseries shall come to those that lived in pride in the latter days. All right. So this is all the beginning of sorrows. This is the beginning of these miseries, man. All right. Imagine how much more, all right, when all hell breaks loose. Okay.
In legislation right now that effectively ends freedom of speech. Effectively ends freedom of speech through hate speech laws, claiming to protect children. That's also to help force digital ID to be used just to get online. We've covered these things. We're seeing that censorship going out globally right now in every Western country.
And as a matter of fact, right now they have one of the news that I came across with that is that they're banning Bibles in Nicaragua. All right, that's actually where my father's from. That I come from that tribe, you see, from the tribe of Zebulon. So out there in Nicaragua, all right, they're literally banning Bibles, man. you can't preach no Bible, dude. You can't preach none of that, you see. And this is what they're doing worldwide. All right, they're bringing these different laws to ban scriptures, to ban, you know, preaching. All right, so you know, Amos 8 and 11 is in effect, man. All right, the days come that there should be not a famine of bread or nor water, but hearing the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, and the virgins are gonna cry, okay, because we're in the time of the wise virgins and the foolish virgins, man. You see, so the foolish virgins are not gonna take heed of this word and not gonna have oil in their lamps. All right, but the wise. All right, the wise virgins are going to prepare themselves for the marriage supper. They're going to prepare themselves for Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, and they're going to constantly put oil in their lamps. So when that time comes that this thing disappears, man, we have enough oil in our lamps to get us by. All right, meaning that you have enough knowledge and wisdom to stabilize you. Excuse me, in these last days. Okay.
Europe and here, Canada is banning books of the Bible because it's hate speech. Are you getting the idea of where we are? But let me continue. Of course, neither he or his sons and daughters will sacrifice anything. You will.
The most obvious impact on all of us will be the cost of building this resilience. Sons and daughters, colleagues, veterans will all have a part to play, to build, to serve, and if necessary, to fight. And more families will know what sacrifice for our nation means.
The comments follow a separate speech by Blaise Metrovelli, the head of MI6. She too raised the alarm about the dangers posed by Vladimir Putin's Russia.
We all continue to face the menace of an aggressive, expansionist and revisionist Russia seeking to subjugate Ukraine and harass NATO. I find it harrowing that hundreds of thousands have died, with the toll mounting every day because of Putin's historical distortions and his compromised desire for respect.
The two speeches underline the growing concern inside defence and security circles about the threat posed by Russia and the need for the whole of society to be prepared to respond. Yet defence insiders tell me they're worried that the only thing really growing in defence is the gap between the strong rhetoric from officials and the reality in the ranks, where there are questions about where the money's coming from to rebuild the armed forces and to rebuild wider national resilience. Is there a risk that the only thing growing in UK defence is the gap between the strong rhetoric?
Okay, so you get the idea, but look at this. This is the most telling thing. Breaking: China and Russia say they will protect Iran and Venezuela from the United States.
We ain't even got to go to that because I did a video on that 2 days ago, and that's what's going to happen. All right, Russia's being a guard onto these nations, man. All right, China's also a big powerhouse. You see, so just China and Russia together, America ain't gonna be able to deal with that, man. All right, that's why they're already at their doom. Okay, so let's go into some more. All right, something I wanted to share is now you got Nicki Minaj being a fucking a spokesperson for Christianity, man. All right.
Receive that, bullies. We won't be silenced ever again. We will speak up for Christians wherever they are in this world. Amen.
Amen. I don't know if you can see this at home, but she is getting a ton of standing ovations.
Yeah, so now you got Nicki Minaj being the face of Christianity, all right, which you talk about a whole satanic ritual trying to now, be the face of Christianity, which Christianity is a satanic ritual anyway, okay? But see, this is how, the reason I brought that out is because the same way you see in her face be, they're using her face for Christianity. See, now they're going to start using these different celebrities, all right, to be able to push out this MOTB, all right? Because when people tend to see celebrities doing certain things, all right, and pushing certain things, they tend to follow because they are the ones that have a voice here in America, you see? So now you see her in Christianity. Pretty soon you're going to see her speaking up and being a spokesperson for this new world order, all right, for this MOTB that's about to be presented soon, mandatory, okay? And you're going to see more celebrities being involved, all right? Remember, they are entertainers, all right? So they're actors and shit like that. So they're going to act the part, all right, when these things are being brought forth to the people, okay? So now all of a sudden she has become a voice of Christianity, you see? Since when? All right, let's grab a couple of judgments, all right? Let me see.
Ortega and Rosario.
Give me 1 second. Trying to think which ones I should bring out. All right, let's just bring out judgments. All right, this is judgment that the Lord is bringing upon people, man. All right, this is why we have to turn back to the Lord. All right, ask for repentance so you don't end up in one of these situations. Okay. So that's how that car ended up getting balled up. Okay. So I guess they stopped to have their little kid take a piss, and look, that's when the truck came over and smacked right into him. Hella fucking judgment, yo. Seeing that ain't nothing, man. You about to start seeing hella tears and misery. You think these people crying out loud now? Okay, it's gonna get worse with the cries, man. Because see, the Lord is gonna put you. The Lord say He gonna mock when your fear cometh, man. You see, the Lord gonna laugh in the times of judgment because you didn't want to hearken on to the Lord. So the Lord wants to see you niggas crying and wants to see you niggas yelling out the top of your lungs, you see, when danger cometh your way. All right. Let's grab let me just grab a bunch of judgments right now. All right. This is
Don't be silly. Go, love, do it. Oh, you sweet little thing. Don't be silly. Go, love, do it. Oh, you sweet little thing.
so her right fucking around and playing around. All right. The guy, she telling that she pretty much asking the guy to, you know, go ahead and do it because he playing with a gun and he ends up shooting her for real. You see? Judgment. This is the love of many waxing cold right here.
Oh, these niggas wildin'. Oh. Oh. Yeah, these niggas is wildin'. These niggas is wildin'. Oh. These niggas wildin'. Oh. Oh. Yo, they wild. They wildin'. Oh. Oh. Oh, they wild.
This nigga trying to hit him with a big ass chain. This nigga trying to hit him with a bat.
There you go, his ass. Oh, he gonna beat the nigga with. Oh.
Getting spooky out here, man. All right. It's getting spooky out here for sure. Let me check this one out.
I'm so sorry to bother. Did you buy any chips out there?
1 second. And I got a whole bunch of them. Check this out. So before I go on, right, you had people dress up as fake UPS delivery men that turned out deadly. Okay.
A family of 5, a father, a mother, their 20-year-old son, and 2 young children under the age of 5 were living a normal day inside their home on 94th Avenue Northwest in Coon Rapids, Minnesota, completely unaware of what was coming their way, as a navy blue Nissan Altima pulled up outside, and 3 suspects stepped out, 2 of them dressed in UPS-style uniforms, pretending to be delivery workers while secretly planning a robbery, a plan that would, within minutes, explode into a brutal encounter that would shock the entire community. This exclusive video was first obtained by Midwest Crime and has never been seen by the public before. One of the victims steps out, apparently completely unaware the delivery is a setup. The home security camera captures the 3rd suspect come up the driveway.
So they stuck him up. They made him go outside, and he thought it was a delivery guy. And then they put the gun to his ribs, right? And they got him to go inside to the house.
Hey, Ryan, go get it. It's right here. Get it. Open it. Go ahead. Hurry up. Just open it. Open. Where is it? This ain't all. So I got. No, please don't make this all the money we have. This ain't nothing. That's all we have. Okay. That's all we have. That's all we have.
With no mercy, one of the intruders turns on the father, 39-year-old Mario Alberto Trejo Estrada, and a single shot to the head ends his life in the entryway of the home.
What are my babies? What are my babies? What are my babies? What are my babies?
The terrifying footage continues as the intruders turn their violence toward the mother and her 20-year-old son, all while the 2 young children are still in the home. The victims are later identified as 42-year-old Shannon Patricia Youngworth and her son, 20-year-old.
Hey, Ryan, go get it. It's right here.
1409 gives the channel for now. I got a male down on the ground. I got blood.
Grab it, please. Jay, come here, kid.
Yep. I think they're dead. Come here. There's another kid. Come here, buddy. There's another kid. Come here, buddy. So he's through the kitchen. Hey, buddy! I can see his diaper now. He's a little closer. No, he's pretty far in there. You see his diaper? See on the ground. Yep. Stay with the kid for now. We're gonna get you another kid here in a second. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Kyle, cover me. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Kyle, cover me. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. I need you to come with me. We're trying to get the kid out. Come here, bud. Come on, buddy. Come here. Come here. I got candies. Come on. Come here. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Come on. Come here. Come here, kiddo. Come here, kiddo.
After rescuing the 2 young children, officers were faced with a horrifying scene. 3 victims, each killed by a gunshot wound to the head. The house was immediately secured, and investigators began meticulously collecting evidence, including physical items and surveillance footage from cameras throughout the home, in an effort to identify the perpetrators. The navy blue Nissan Altima was traced to 39-year-old Alonzo Pierre Mingo, who was arrested later that day after being spotted.
Which at the end of the day, that shit had to be going back to, you know, some type of drugs. You know, for somebody to run up in your shit like that and asking for money, they usually are, you know, involved in drugs. All right, check this out. More judgment. It got no sound, but I guess this guy got caught in the house. He gets shot right there in front of his wife or girlfriend, mistress. The judgment is definitely going out heavy. Okay. Look at this one right here. She had a gun on the wall and he took it off the wall and shot her ass while she was asleep right next to her kid. So she probably was always protecting her house for a certain reason. And look, while she's sleeping, she get a bullet to the head, man. All right.
Ain't gotta really say too much, cause niggas know how this shit get. When I pop out up in traffic, might got Drake a double switch. But it really do not matter, cause every gun got a bit. I don't stop skating with phones, blowing the gun with just one hand. Glizzy and me got the shaking, you can't run from the...
Somebody came out the store and instantly somebody ran up on him and shot his ass. Straight overkills, man. All right, and I ain't even gonna play no more. All right, you get the point. Okay. See, a lot of judgment is going out. All right, and it's getting worse and worse because iniquity abound. The love of many shall wax cold. You see, how much more in that day when all hell breaks loose, when it becomes the purge out here. All right, survival of the fittest. All right, people just going. Listen, death is just gonna be the norm out here. Dead bodies dropping to the floor and dead carcasses everywhere in these streets. All right, that's just going to be the norm out here, okay? Because judgment is coming, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Let's grab 2 precepts and I'll close it out. This is Micah 3 and 5, okay? This is Micah 3 and 5, and it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. Oh, Salakia, not Micah 3 and 5, Zephaniah 3 and 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning does he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Okay. So let's read that in the NLT. It says, but the Lord Yahweh is still there in the city. and he does no wrong. Day by day, he hands down justice, judgment, basically, and he does not fail. But the wicked know no shame. You see why? Because the wicked is the wicked. All right, they could care less of what's happening. Okay, and they get away with these things, right? Because eventually, you know, judgment will come upon them. All right. See, judgment is being set. All right, and being reserved for those that are wicked. All right, let's end it with this. This is Ecclesiasticus 14. No, Salakia, 2nd Ezra 14, and I believe it's 16. Damn, this shit froze again, really? Hold on, let me back out and load it back up. This is 2nd Ezra 14 and 16. And it says, oh, come on, really? Oh, shit. It doesn't want to give me chapters 13 and 14. All right, hold on, let me grab it like this. 2nd Ezra 14 and 16, KJV. It says, for yet greater evils.
Chapter 14, verse 16. The Lord warns Ezra that even greater evils will occur.
You know what? Let's use this AI overview, right? It says, I'll read it real quick. It says, 2nd Ezra 14, 16, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. All right, so greater evils are going to increase in these last days. It says in 2nd Ezra 14, 16, the Lord tells Ezra, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter, emphasizing the coming increase of wickedness as the world ages, leading to urgent need to prepare and escape these troubled times. All right. And this is why the Lord told you that perilous times is coming, man. All right. That's why the Lord said, you know, be circumspect, redeeming the times, because the days is evil. Okay. And how does a prudent man hide himself, man? The scriptures say a prudent man foreseeth the evil and he hideth himself. How does he do that? All right. Through the scriptures, through the Bible. All right. Through prayer, through fasting, through drawing closer to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. You see, that's how you hide yourself from the judgment of the Lord. All right. That your sins may be blotted out. All right. And the Lord will turn his face from you. You see. So you don't have to be one to, you know, be judged. All right. The scriptures say, repent or you likewise perish. All right. So that's pretty much the point. So Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloi and La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or Chakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith. Shalom.